Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Talks. With me today is my co-host,
Punchy, and
our guest this week.
who
Is the
is
Mimic 1013.
hey, good start.
Okay, I just want to tell you viewers that usually I have it so that it goes between each of us, like whenever we talk, but for some reason it's not working today. So,
Really?
yeah.
Shit. Well, I guess they're not going to get to see the nice sight of a totodile.
Yeah.
Lovely little totodile.
Okay, I'm just trying to click on two other things that aren't going to do anything. So, oh, it's working now, I think. It,
Oh yay!
okay, Mimic,
Yeah?
you want to say anything?
I'm kind of calling words right now.
All right. Well, we can start on the first thing, first topic, as it were.
Yeah, the first topic for this week is on Tumblr I saw this thing where they're like, oh, the whole thing with Lucy and Hercules has to do with racism, and not bringing up the fact that the Hercules trailer fucking lied about what was going to happen in the film, while the Lucy trailer was honest.
Could you explain more on the subject for people who don't know?
Yeah.
Like me?
Yeah, I haven't seen Hercules, but from the reviews I read, the trailer totally lied. One review I read went into detail about how much the trailer just lied to everyone. In the Hercules trailer, if you haven't seen it, is like Hercules, is the demigod and is doing all these great feats. And it turns out all that footage was from the first few minutes of the film where this guy is trying to tell everyone how great Hercules is.
I hate it when they do that. I feel like it's a bad storytelling move. It doesn't work. It annoys me. It's just a bald-faced lie. And a planned one of that, because I'm not sure if anyone's seen the interview that the Rock has with someone, I forget who, but in the interview he's asked whether Superman could take his Hercules, and if his Hercules is not what the legend says, which as we just said he isn't, he couldn't, but he said it does, which is a lie. So the Rock lied to us, gentlemen.
Oh God!
No longer trust him.
I can't
Actually,
blame you about the lying in part. I
It's not
mean,
good.
if you're going to put a trailer, do it right.
The trailer has to let you know
Because,
what's going to be in the movie.
yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
If it doesn't, then it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
and then people are disappointed and walk out angry.
Well, don't blame them. This is like the colonial marines equivalent in movies. You know what I mean? You got a trailer, you're told it's going to be awesome, and then you watch it and it's like,
Why don't you tell people about colonial marines, Omar?
ah yes. Once upon a time, there was an awesome game shown to everyone. We were all like, yeah, it looks cool. You know, aliens, marines, awesome. Uh, and we wait for it, and we wait for it, and we wait for it, and it changes hands, goes to different production teams, and eventually one solitary day it comes out. And we realize upon playing it that it is literally just not the game they said it was. Nothing you saw in the trailers is there, nothing you wanted to be there is there, the AI was built by a child, the monsters are just stupid, you could bitch slap their tails and they'd run away, it's horrible, honestly. Terrible game, and a lie.
Yeah, it's in the Alien series.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, it's
don't
pretty
think you
obvious, it's
said
called
that.
aliens, so such slang. But yeah, fuck them.
Mimic, do you have any experiences with trailers just outright lying to you about a game or a movie?
No, not quite, actually. Because I don't go to too many movies. If there was one, I don't remember it.
Well, that's a good thing then. I
Yeah.
would like that ability. I would like to not have to remember a bad movie. Oh God,
God.
there's so many movies I don't want to remember.
I got episode 1.
What?
Star Wars Episode 1, is that a movie you would like to remember or
You mean the
wouldn't?
prequels?
Yeah.
I like them.
Okay, good man.
I'm one of the very few people who actually thought it's not that bad. I mean, it could be better, but it's not that bad.
I think I did watch Star Wars 1. I like it. That I didn't have a chance to watch 2 or 3, and I don't remember, but I was told I've watched 4 through 6 because my mother had those movies before on VHS.
They're not that good either. I don't know why people like Star Wars so much. The world's good, the movies aren't. Well, they're not bad. It's just not that good. It's like, eh.
I used to be a huge Star Wars fan. I have forgotten more than a human should ever know.
Well, that in general seems to be true about you guys. In fact, all of you. Memory banks the size of libraries, honestly. I can
What?
barely remember character names. You know their great granddads.
Well, Obi-Wan is like a Jedi, so he doesn't really know his heritage, because Jedi don't know that shit.
I'd wager he's human.
What?
I'd wager he's a human.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is a human.
There we go.
Yeah, Alec Guinness? Ewan McGregor?
Alien?
What? Alec Guinness?
That's the old Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then the other one's the young one. Alright, got it. But anyway, yep. Moving on.
Okay. It's sort of, with the whole Hercules and Lucy thing, it's really fucking annoying when I run across people that are trying to make it all about some ideology instead of trailers lie, I prefer this movie or that movie. It's
Can I ask, how exactly is Lucy like Hercules? How did they? How? Because I don't know anything about that one. How did they
they
lie?
just were released or like around the same time.
But they both
So
did the same thing, or?
no, they were released around the same time, but Lucy made bigger money than Hercules. There's like don't don't try to logically connect the two besides release dates because there's no way. It's just that, they're released around the same time. Lucy did better than Hercules, so Lucy stars a white protagonist, and Hercules stars
Hercules.
Dwayne Johnson, so
Oh,
obviously it
hold
has.
up. That's not racism. Everyone loves that guy.
No, the racism is that Lucy did better, so that's white people preferring white people.
But that doesn't make any sense. Dwayne Johnson's awesome. Everyone likes him. Everyone.
I know.
Also, I thought he was white.
The thing is, it's all about how much money that Lucy made over Hercules.
Oh, okay. Then
Don't try to connect it logically by, oh, Dwayne Johnson is a good actor, he's awesome, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop trying to make sense of it. Whatever. It's too complicated for my brain. My brain's
It's
slowing
basically
down.
people becoming too PC for their own good.
True.
Where they're like fighting against something, it's like, there's nothing to fight against.
The only reason that movie didn't do well is because it was shit.
What?
The only reason the movie didn't do well is because it was shit.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes there are also, cult classics that can do poor at the box office, but then they're remembered more than the ones who did good at the box office.
True, because I'm probably gonna have Hercules because it just looks cool. Whereas Lucy, I'm probably gonna forget about it after this.
I saw it in theaters. I was actually $5 theaters, so I just randomly went there, didn't focus on what movies were playing that day or what time. So it was an adventure, and I was going to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but the next showing of Lucy was sooner, so I saw that one instead.
Wow, that was lazy.
No, I would have to be like standing around this small shopping center area for 2 hours instead of for around 30 minutes if I wanted to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and just for laziness, that was the good decision to do.
Well, we've been not allowing our guests to speak that much.
That's a good point.
Cause I don't have anything to add to it.
Just here's what you do. Pretend you know what you're on about and just say anything about it. That's what I do, because I know literally nothing. Just go ahead.
Well, there was this one movie I watched before. It was called Gladiator.
Yes, Russell Crowe.
It was pretty good. I didn't like the fact that Hero had to die, but it was actually necessary because that's what happens at Gladiator Ring. It was a big message of what.
I think Gladiator was based on something as well. I forget where, but I'm fairly certain that that's how it ends. So they had to do it. That's like making a Superman movie, except he's not from Krypton. He's from Mars.
Did you hear there was supposed to be there was talks of a Gladiator sequel?
Yeah, I heard about that. Apparently, he was meant to go back in time and kill Jesus or something.
I can't remember exactly, but it was something. Crack.com did an article about it. And it's like, how the fuck do you get from Gladiator 1 to this thing?
Terminator and Jesus, that's what they became.
Sounds like the second Gladiator got totally wrecked.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a thank God it didn't get made. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I would have watched that. Can you imagine that? The movie where the gladiator goes back in time and kills Jesus.
I can imagine the second Gladiator having big shoes to fill in to make it as good as the first.
It wouldn't have done it. It could not have done it.
No.
I think
with the premise they wanted to go with for the second one, it was like, no, it would basically be the dirt being removed from the first gladiator's shoes.
Worse than that, it'd be the dirt coming off of the dirt that was removed from the dirt that came off the gladiator's shoes.
Well, I guess I don't have anything else to talk about here. Should we move on to the next subject?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you'd be good at this one.
Okay, what makes a good adaptation? I know me, Mimic, and her twin sister Nico were like talking the other night, and we got to talking about the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles Crap Fest by Michael Bay.
Yes.
And he's just seemed to take things in name only, and since Mimic actually knows more about the show, I'll let her speak, and then I'll go to talk about adaptations that I know about.
Well, basically, from what I'm hearing, they're making the Shredder only related to the original by name and not by the characteristics that makes the Shredder the enemy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knows. So, forget Megan Fox. The real question is, how is Shredder being portrayed?
I'd like to.
Because if you cannot adapt the enemy to have the essence but change it up the way you want it, that's no remake of the enemy. That's just on copying the name.
That's true, and this is my first time actually having seen him, and holy shit. They just made him a monster. He's like Iron Man with swords. There's more spikes on him than anything I've ever seen. He makes Sauron look like a bitch. I
wonder how he moves under all that get-up. They must have some pretty good material to make it move so fluently under there.
How much you want to bet
the old RoboCop's get-up.
I bet
it was difficult to move, so they made him move robotically in the set.
Well, that makes sense, but what I reckon they're going to do is to just make him an alien as well. They'll be like, oh, look, he's a gorilla man. So he can handle the weight. There we go. That makes sense. That's what they'll do. They could do it, frankly. They're going to go anywhere. I'm going to watch it just to see what the hell happens, because it's going to be weird. Also, Megan Fox is April O'Neil. God damn it.
So now you're going to have to watch it?
No, I don't think she looks good at all. I think she looks weird. She did look good, but like post Transformers 2, something went wrong there. Something went dangerously wrong.
We could look on Bride's side with Megan Fox. She's better than that TNA actress they replaced her with in Transformers 3.
Oh yeah, she was better than her at least. Then again, wasn't she English? So I have to side with her. I think she's better. National pride.
She got fired before the third Transformers movie for speaking her mind in front of her boss.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Michael Bay is a dick.
Yeah, he had to get her back once he realized that a female was not going to cut it for his Transformers movies. They kind of made up.
She isn't she? Oh no, wait, there's a new one. There's a new girl in the new one. I want to find out who she is.
So yeah, he's probably going to have some sour notes with Megan Fox, but Megan Fox does know how to do her stuff compared to the woman who just seems to be a model walking through the wreckage as if she's some goddess.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Are you aware?
That's what I saw from the trailers only.
Do you guys know who's playing the main girl in the new Transformers?
No, I don't. I don't really keep up with it that much.
Okay, well,
No,
first
I
of
don't
all,
know. I stopped watching Transformers after a second because the story was falling apart.
okay, well,
Or
let me
in trade for all the action eye candy.
just want to check this out real quik.
All I really know
You guys
about
talk, and I'll figure this out. Just 1 minute.
the only thing I really know about the most recent Transformers movie is there's Dino Transformers that don't appear that much in the film.
Yeah, most notable is Grimlock.
Yeah, that was the one Optimus Prime was right in the trailer, right?
Yes, Grimlock's the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That was like the most awesome part of the trailer. I'm like, this is
he played rodeo on Grimlock.
I was like, I'm going to, when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, I'm going to get it just to watch that and not have to pay for anything, for, going into the theaters to see it.
Right, I figured out what I was going to say. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, the main girl in the new one is actually the daughter of Matt Damon. Thank God, because at first I was told, wait, she's a bit young, because she's like 19 years old. But do you know who's playing her?
Who?
The girl who played Katara from The Last Airbender.
Oh, the movie version that most fans of the show don't like to speak of.
This woman should not be allowed to act.
Does she act or does she appear in front of the camera? There's sometimes a difference.
I don't even know if she exists as a person. I was fairly certain she was a plastic doll made to just move. Good God. Oh well, it was going to be shit anyway, so who cares? Right, continue.
So, do you have, Omar, do you have any adaptation you like or don't like?
I like the Kick-Ass adaptation better than the comic. A lot. Because of the gratuitous rape that really made the comic just a bit too hard. Really, it was like you kind of read it and it's funny and it's all pretty dark, but it never goes too far. But then the whole blow children's heads off, rape women, that kind of, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and put this book down and listen to horrifying music in order to imagine myself killing this man. But yeah, it really was not. Whereas in the movie, they did it much better. They kind of made it attempted, And the main bad guy was unzips himself. He's like, "This is gonna happen, bitch." But then he's like a 5 foot tall dweeb, and he couldn't manage it, if you know what I mean. So they're just like, "Oh, just beat her up then." And obviously, it makes him look like an idiot. And I think that's better. It shows that he is both evil and capable of it, but also an idiot still. So good. Also, no kids are blown up. I know, right? For some odd reason, I don't like it when kids get blown up. It's shocking of me. But yeah, that's my one. As for adaptations I don't like, I think I just said many of them. Dragon Ball, Last Airbender, Dragon Ball, Last Airbender,
Aren't
Dragon
you
Ball,
still
Last
supposed to
Airbender.
do that Dragon Ball little vlog of you praising the movie?
Oh shit, yes I am. Well, thanks for reminding me of that, you monster.
Hey, that was my prize for some stupid shit we did. I want to get paid.
Fine, I'll make it happen.
Well,
How about you?
What's
my sorry.
Yeah, it's you, Amber, you.
Yeah, I was just telling Mimic to speak, and sorry I kept interrupting you.
My favorite adaptations are when you change and when directors change the story backgrounds of the characters but keeps the prime essence that makes the characters who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Amazing Spider-Man and movies that have came out so far has done just that.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's absolutely true. I think the original Spider-Man trilogy kind of stuck to the storylines more, but the feeling wasn't there. Whereas the new ones, the storylines have changed, but the feeling's still there. He feels a lot more like Spider-Man.
Okay, Andrew Garfield plays Peter Parker to T. I haven't seen the second one yet, but just the first one, I was like, I love this Peter Parker.
Yes, but if there's one problem with it, it's odd. It's like both of the movies had half and half and half. The original Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire played Peter Parker how he was before the spider bite, but he didn't change him enough afterwards. Whereas Andrew
Yeah,
Garfield, yeah, but Andrew Garfield played Peter Parker who was already cool. He should have been a little bit more dorky and then become cooler after the spider bite. But I'm better with Andrew Garfield because, I mean, you have to deal with the slightly unrealistic take on a nerd from him for like 5 minutes before he starts turning awesome again. So it's alright. Whereas with Tobey Maguire, you have to deal with a moany idiot for the entire time.
yeah,
Honestly.
the original reboot Spider-Man didn't cut out in the snarky department.
Exactly. I mean, he did say some things, but I mean, it's like the one that sticks to my mind is the part where Goblin shows that thing at him, and he's like, and then Spidey's like, wait, no what? And he says something, oh, you're out, Spider-Man, or something like that, and then Spidey's like, dodging says, no, it's you who's out, Garby, out of your mind, and it is just the worst line ever. It's just like, oh man.
I like
And they'll
Sam
seriously never come up
Raimi's
with a better line than that.
Spider-Man trilogy, but yeah, it does, it's cheesy at times.
Cheesy is an understatement. Bloody, Adam West Batman would cringe at that line. He'd be like, "Oh shit, can't believe you said that."
and that's the show with shark spray.
Yep, shark spray. Shark spray is
Repellent.
what's cringy.
Right. Sure.
It's like, bloody Robin just be like, "Holy unrealistic dialogue, Batman."
Yeah.
Oh. For me personally, adaptations, I would never like to ever be in charge of an adaptation because I know I'd be given crap if I did good or if I did bad, or if I did perfect. Because I like
You can never
when
please everyone.
what?
You can never please everyone. It's not
I
possible.
know, and there'd be so many people saying this is the worst adaptation ever. This is the best adaptation ever.
I know, and it's like I have that feeling about the Man of Steel movie. Like a lot of people hate it, but I loved it, and I was like, I don't understand why people don't like this. Especially, side note, what really annoys me about that everyone always used to complain, oh, Superman, he's too much of a goody two-shoes. Ooh, he's too good, he's too perfect. Oh, we're hating for that. Then you come out with a movie where it's played just a bit more realistically because he's a noob and he doesn't know what he's doing, right? He tries to save everyone, and everyone's like, oh no, Superman shouldn't do that. He's meant to be perfect. Ooh, god damn it. And I'm just like, fuck off, you bastards. What do you
Mhm.
want of him? You want him to do everything and nothing at the same time? God,
Well,
I've come to the point in my life where I now realise the only way for people to actually admit that Superman is cool is to give him a Batman costume.
well, yeah.
And also, another side note, you know how people say Superman is overpowered? They're
Yeah.
fucking wrong. I'll tell you who's overpowered. Batman. He's a normal human being, but somehow you give him a belt buckle and 5 minutes of time and he can beat everyone. How is that not overpowered?
Well,
He's like God in a bat suit.
he picked up some special training in the comics to earn physical combat, and yes, the devices do aid him a lot.
Yeah, but think about it this way: the level of the shit he can do. Okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, no matter how good he is, how in God's name is he meant to take on Superman if Superman even has a bit of logic? Look at me this. If I was Superman, I'm not smarter than Superman, but if I was Superman, you know how I take care of Batman? I'd fly into orbit and I'd laser his face off because I can see that far and I have lasers in my eyes. But for some reason, whenever that happens, you know what happens?
What?
Batman walks up to Superman, within punching range, because somehow Superman lets him do that. And then Batman takes his slow ass time, because Superman could cross the planet in a quarter of a second, but apparently can't stop Batman from getting something out of his pocket. So Batman slowly gets a bit of kryptonite out of his pocket, and obviously Superman didn't see this, didn't see him getting it out of his pocket, because Superman's an idiot now, right? And then, oh look, Superman's sick, and then he just beats him up. How the fuck would that happen? An idiot, a child could beat Batman if that was his plan. God damn it.
Oh,
Makes me
that's
emotional, okay? God damn it, I hate it when they do that. He can fly on Mach 10! He can he can fly so quickly that if he flew past Batman, the shockwave would break his bones. The shockwave of his movement.
That's true.
Exactly, you know? He took a fucking Gatling gun to the face in Man of Steel. What's Batman gonna do?
I don't know. Cool
Exactly.
stat stuff.
But tell you what, it's gonna be awesome seeing them fight. And it's gonna be horrifying seeing how they come up with an excuse for why Batman wasn't instantly annihilated.
Because
He's Batman.
okay, yeah, but an adaptation I like more than the original would have to be the Disney versions of the Chronicles of Narnia because the books don't really have that much tension. Everything's going to be all right. Things happen and everything's perfect. But the movies at least try to add a little bit of tension to them.
True. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I kind of like the first book better.
And then Liam Neeson voices Jesus Lion.
Oh yeah, good point.
A adaptation I know of that doesn't follow its original content would be How to Train Your Dragon. In the books, uh, there's plenty of contrast. The dragons had their own language called Dragonese. None of them, except for a few species, can get bigger than the Vikings they are with. And mm, Toothless seems to be a little garden dragon, but in truth he's really a little member of the gigantic species that exists in the dragon in world.
See, that's true. I heard about that yesterday from Nico.
hmm
I did not expect that. I'm gonna go ahead and say that was probably a good change because it's not bad and I quite like it. It's entertaining.
And when the movies came out, the dragons were bigger than they are portrayed in the books. Toothless becomes a night fury, and the Terrible Terrors, they kind of are a secret contribute to the common garden dragons that the book Toothless was.
Terrible. Sorry, terrible.
Two.
Terrible Terrors.
Pairs.
pairs.
Uh,
Alright, got it. Just 1 minute.
But yeah,
Okay, where did he go?
I don't know.
Oh fuck. We've lost our co-host, folks.
Wow, I must have set him up on Aaron.
Oh, good. If he needs help getting back here, you can link him back because I signed out of Skype.
Right.
I just. Well, he said he'd be back, and that link is still on Skype. So.
Mhm.
I'm okay. We'll start. Just finish up whatever you were saying, and maybe Omar will return in time.
Yeah, the dragons also do not carry dragon knees. They carry growls, in body language, and use them to pretty much uh, communicate it to their riders with it. Of course, in the book, you had to catch a dragon to the you have to catch a dragon to even be a Viking. Otherwise, you're exiled from them.
Oh my god.
While in the e, while in the movie, it was a war between dragons and humans at first, with Hiccup bringing everyone together. So yeah, both books have their own ways of portraying the franchise. Of course, there are plenty of deaths in the books. Snotlout in the books does get killed.
Who?
Snotlout, one of the characters in How to Train Your Dragon. In the books, he does die.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I've seen both movies.
same here.
They're good movies, so
Hmm
I might check out the books one day.
Yeah. So there is contrast between the two things. How they both bring beautiful stories out in the world in their own fashions. So it doesn't matter which franchise you adapt to, they're both the same thing. That's an example of an adaptation that only uses some of the sources, but not the story itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Elementary is modern day retelling of Sherlock set in America, and it does a decent job. I've been watching since the pilot leaked online, but it has its good points, but there's stuff to talk about if you watch a few episodes, but if you just try episode to episode, there's not really whole much to talk about, even though some of the longer arcs are interesting.
Oh, by the way, Omar's pretty much out for the rest of the show. His house is being renovated.
Oh fuck! I knew he would have to get off at some point. I was just hoping that would be at the end. Okay. Okay. Final topic for today: remakes and reboots against the original. You know how if something's being rebooted or remade, people will cry out, "Oh, why are you doing this?" If it's a classic. And then if it's not a classic, they'll be going, "Oh, why are you remaking this? It's already a piece of shit."
Yeah, I kind of talked a little bit into the subject through How to Train Your Dragons. But yeah, I can and agree some those conversations are not exactly the best thing to wish for. Because when and directors get pressured, yeah, they'll pull out some shit. There's also some big mistakes directors done that can pretty much ruin a fabulous reboot, such as Michael Bay losing the story in trade for action in scenes that makes people go, "Wow!"
Yeah. It's like some people need to be some directors like need to be controlled and saying, "Hey, just calm down.
Hmm.
We're not going to do this thing you want to because it's absolute shit, and you only think it's good. You're the only person that likes it."
To be fair, I think Michael Bay has only one trick. It is stories that involves the government versus the army. They they don't have any better story conflicts to use.
No.
And that's why I think it's going to ruin the TMNT movie that's coming out.
Yeah, there's if you have a preferred like plot line when you write, that's okay, but you need to sometimes break your mold doing things you don't normally do, and if you're getting paid to make such a big feature, you're going to have to go, I'm happy to do this for more than just myself.
Yes, that's true. I mean, do you know how many writers actually can create a sewage character at first? They also, once they do that, they got to carefully plot out flaws and strengths and make the character no longer Mary Sue or Gary Stu. What was it?
Yeah, Gary Stu is the male version.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to admit I done on Mary and Gary's EOCs. Then I had to add flaws and make them more humane.
I admit with some of sometimes in fics, like on my AO3,
Hmm.
where I'll put self-inserts, but that's sometimes because I'm having fun. Why not? I'm doing all this careful, plotting of characters and where the plot's going to go. Sometimes I just need to go, fuck it.
Hmm.
But when you're making a character, you can make them, good at something, but you can't have them being the best thing ever, unstoppable, because then it becomes really boring.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
It's like why when there's like a fight between the villain and the hero needs to go down a few times so
Hmm.
there's a chance that the hero could fail.
Yes, that's true.
It's always not very nice when you're like, no, he can't get hurt. You can't hurt him or her.
Hmm.
But then that's yeah. Yeah, there's
That's
a continue.
well, the Nintendo's games of Pokemon, they have a anime series. Is They have also given 4 special episodes to that had told the audience what would happen if they had went and stuck with the game concepts for the anime instead of leaving it to one character or on a huge journey. It gave us a anime reboot of the a red and blue video games of Pokemon on for the Game Boy. It was beautiful. With the only a hint of the later series being the Mega Stone that Red's Charizard obtained. Enon went to, I think, Charizard X.
I didn't really keep up with Pokemon, so I don't really know.
But yeah, that was an example of what they could have done. It would be sticking with the original Pokemon video game concept, and it was a fabulous remake that only lasted 4 eps. There was no telling what could happen after those 4 eps were done.
So that Pokemon reboot was a good thing or a bad thing?
It was kind of like a treat. You want to savor it. But we all know it's not going to continue on because the current anime series is still going.
Yeah.
It was just like a subplot of some sort.
Yeah, the Terminator is going to be rebooted, and I believe it's coming out next year. And I'm not really happy about it, not because, it's rebooting a franchise I like, but because it just seems that they're trying to draw viewers in the wrong way, because with the Terminator fans, it's like T1 and T2, since they're by James Cameron, they're gold, they should not, be,
Tampered with?
yeah, shouldn't be tempered with. And so, but with the reboot erasing every previous movie, fans are getting mad because you're destroying their shrine. Well, if you started the reboot after T2, people wouldn't probably mind as much because, T1 and T2 are still canon.
Mm-hmm. That's what reboots are meant to do. They are supposed to be like an alternate timeline of some sort. If you think about it, the Spyro video games actually had a trilogy reboot that introduced a new dragon and left out a lot of the old classic characters of the Spyro series. Actually, Sparks was actually far more useful in their era, and they even cracked off about his constant voice actor changes throughout the 3 rounds.
Okay, that's cute when, people in games and movies break the fourth wall like that.
Yes, that's true. The trilogy itself was pretty much an alternate timeline to Spyro, because Spyro didn't hunt out with dragons. Actually, he was hatched and raised by dragonflies. So he looked at Sparks as his brother. Once he realized he was a dragon, he set out to find where he should be in the world. Only find out he was a pretty special dragon, and who can tap into untold powers that normal dragons couldn't. The trilogy ended on a beautiful high note. It started fantastic. It ended just as good.
That's good when a trilogy is pleasing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's disappointing when you spend all the time and effort for, something and then it just sucks at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. I liked the majority of the movie, but then they screwed up the ending. And I was just like, I know you can do a good job. I was sitting through like an hour of you like just being awesome. What happened? Why did I waste my time?
Yeah, of course there were changes that I was a little disappointed in. They gave Sparks the snarky attitude, but the Spyro for the trilogy wasn't the snarky dragon I knew. He was more of questioning and a little bit down to earth, plus a little bit more emotional. Where the original series, you can expect some snarky comment out of Spyro. He also kind of fell in love in the trilogy with Cinder, who was previously an enemy. They, the gameplays kind of changed in the finale a game where you're not controlling Spyro anymore. You're controlling Spyro and Cinder chained together and switching between two. That was an awesome gameplay. So yeah, they had stuff that changed throughout the games, aims adding a bit more element, but they kept it straight in the story without changing a thing.
That's good.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like when I talked earlier about adaptations, being like the just so hard to do, about how people want the same but different, and that I haven't seen all the Psycho remake. The black and white version is my favorite horror movie, but I've just heard that the Psycho did shot by shot remake, I think updating like how much money she stole and other like slight little things. And then people were complaining it's too similar. And then if it was like a little bit different, it's too different. It's like also, that's probably a reason why I probably stay away from remakes too. Like at least being in charge, because I'd have to please the original fans and the new people that are coming in and seeing it for the first time.
Best way to look at reboots and remakes is alter timeline. Things won't stay the same, but there can be is some things that difference is better. I mean, Sega's having a alternate universe called Sonic Boom from the Sonic franchise. They kind of made a changes to some of the characters. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I hope that the Amy I saw in the trailer isn't the damsel in distress she usually is in the video games, games and TV series.
Oh, God, I hated as an example in the second Despicable Me movie, the woman sort of agent that's working with Gru is all kick-ass throughout the majority of the film, but near the ending, she's the usual, oh, I can't fight now. A man has to rescue me.
Yeah,
It's like,
she's actually a klutz. I can see why she got caught,
no,
actually, pretty
it
much.
just, I need to have to rewatch it, but I think it just happened that people surrounded her and she just gave herself up. Like that's how I remembered it. That's why I was pissed off, because if you if you want the strongest woman captured at the end, go ahead and do that, but you sort of need to do it realistically.
I can agree to that.
I mean,
The many people in I who seen the trailers and concept arts of Sonic Boom had questioned the fact that they buffed up Knuckles the Echidna into a big bruise making character. He I think the the change is fantastic because he's been the strong man of the team. So to have his strength finally revealed instead of the speed he can muster was good to me. He's probably still going to be the gullible hothead that I know him as well. But you never know with the makers of Ratchet and Clank / Jack and Dexter, because one of their developers is in there. So I can expect a remake / alternate timeline to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I can be certain the gameplay is going to be incredible. Because those guys never disappoint me with their games.
I can only play stuff for the Wii or Kinect. I have a Wii
It's on the
myself.
Wii U.
I don't have the Wii U, and I'm not really interested in really getting the Wii U, just because I like the Wii because I have poor hand control, and the majority of the Wii is, just motion. And then the Wii U seems like there's a bunch of, buttons to press, and maybe if, Rev Spot one, I'd try it out, but I wouldn't want to buy the system that it turns out my hands can't work.
Some of the Wii U games still requires the original Wiimote. So that's one thing you can look at. Some of the games actually can be adaptable to the Wiimote instead of the controllers that have came for the game.
That would be that'd be good, because I know there's going to be one point in time in the future where I've played every game for the Wii and they're not making new ones.
Mhm.
So yeah. Plus, I want to try out the new Mario Kart game for the Wii U.
Is adaptable to the Wiimote.
Okay, we've gotten off track.
It calls to be adaptable to the gamepad and the game controller. So yeah, all 3 Wii controllers can work with it. I have poor handling on the Wiimote, so gamepad or game controller works fine for me.
Just that the thing is, my hands don't really react well. Like, I have poor finger controls.
Mhm.
So it's like, I've tried playing, other game systems before, and maybe it was the Vita that my half-brother Ethan had, and he put it on like a really simple mode, like maybe basic or maybe even below basic to use. I still couldn't work it worth a damn. And it was a Star Wars game too.
Wow.
Like, we'll end this here since we've
Yeah, we
gone
went
off
off
on a
topic.
tangent. Now time for announcements. Mimic, do you have anything you're going to do that you'd like to tell people about? The one person that's still watching, that's probably Trey. Hi.
I have been working on writing my own original story, trying to be an Arthur. I ran into a few snags with the current chapter, so I'm just writing what I feel and leaving some of the crucial details a bit blank so I could work on them later and complete the chapters a little faster. I do have 2 of them on Fiction Press under title Dragon Core.
What's your user name on Fiction Press?
The Mimic 1013.
Say that again?
The Mimic 1013.
The Mimic 1013?
Mm-hmm.
For those that are watching this on YouTube recorded, I'll be putting a link to that in the description. So, yeah, I know original series stories can be hard, especially when you have to do world building and you don't have anything to, base it off of. It's like if you're doing a fanfic and say you're doing Star Wars, you can, make changes to the Jedi Order, how you want it to function, but there's still going to be a Jedi Order for you to base everything off of.
Yeah. Um, to be fair, Dragon Core used to be a Mega Man fanfic I was working on. Then I took the original characters I was making in there and put them into a whole new world. And that's how Dragon Core came to be. The characters also had revamps, turning from Gary Stews and Mary Stews into unique characters. It's still in the works, but I'm aiming to make it a strong, unrealistic, and pretty much unforgettable story. So, any flaws that gets found, I would love to know, and please be honest and fair with the critiques. I do not want a troll just come in and say it sucks, make something else.
Oh god, the troll's just going, hey, it sucks. One, anonymous review on one of my fan fiction stories. I usually don't get trolling there because I not really noticed, but someone said, ooh, gay. It's that's very interesting critique of this.
I wouldn't be surprised, since you're a Manic Expression member, that it was a 4chan member. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
But that was a poor attempt at trolling. It's I think I'm supposed to be insulted, but fuck it, I'm confused.
Yeah, that's true. I could just brush off and delete and say, you know what? There is the delete option. Your comment, it is trash. Bye-bye.
Yeah. But my own announcements. The final chapter of In Between the Works of Krayak, the following and Animorphs fanfic, the final chapter should be up hopefully tonight. It's one, and the Works of Krayak is one of those fics where only I can insult it. Because I'm just glad that shitfest is over, but no one else can say anything. An Animorphs podcast is in the works. I have a co-host, a name for the podcast, and we'll be going over every book in the series. And it will air on the channel that Jash Talks does. I made a playlist already to put each of those episodes in. Just so you don't have to wander through every Jash Talks episode to figure where each, Animorphs podcast episode is. New Beginnings and Second Chances has 2 more chapters to go, and then it ends. And it's really dark and depressing at the end, so I'm, happy to get it done, but then sort of scared because, it's not exactly happy times. And finally, the forum. I have forums. I'm running a little contest on them where the prize is me reviewing the first 2 Animorphs TV series. The series is gold when I just like to pretend it doesn't exist. And the link to the forums is jashikins.boards.net. So, check me out there. And I also have a board in the introduction section of just telling the rules and the benefits of being a member. So, and any parting words, Mimic?
Not really.
Okay.
Just see y'all later, and hopefully y'all have a good time with this chat.
Yeah. Sorry about Omar leaving, but life happens. And until next video, goodbye.